So I have put in all my clips here. And I'm going to do two things in this video. One is I'm going to make sure that they fill the Instagram frame here. Right now there's black spaces and I want to get rid of all of that so that it actually fills the full frame. And then I also want to do a little color correction. So I'm going to click on my first skateboard, which is where I'm at now. And then I'm going to go over here to effect controls, and effect controls should be here in your source window, your upper left window. If it's not, you can go into Windows and then at the very top menu and click on effect controls. So you can do that. So here's effect controls. And here it is. So the things that I care about right now are position and scale. So position, this left-hand one, if I hover over it and then kind of move it to the right, I can just literally move my mouse from side to side and to see where I want it. And then my the second one under position, if I can just move it up or down. I'm not going to do that because what I'm really going to do is I need to make it bigger, right? So on scale, that's for size. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to make it so that it fills the frame. Okay. And so I'm going to look at it, see if it makes sense. You know what? I need to have the person over just a little bit. So I'm going to come over here to my first number during the position, and I'm going to move them over a little bit. Okay. So that's what I've got right now. It looks kind of cool. Okay. So the surfer, let's look and see what we see with the surfer. We see the surfer is really just kind of, we just want to make sure that when the person is at the furthest over, that they're not out of frame. So the first thing I'm going to do is you have to click on the surfer in order for it to, for you to use the effect controls, but I'm going to do that first. I'm going to increase the scale. So the person is there. You don't want to increase it too much because if you increase it too much, it might be distorted. So, and then position, I'm going to move the person over so they're a little bit more in the beginning. I can decide, do I need it? Nope. And I don't see if I put it up too much, then there's the black space again. So I don't want that. No, I think I just want it there. And then I play it if I like the way it is. Okay, so that was fine. All right, and then this one is just showing, I kind of need to leave it where it's at because when they turn it around, when they flip it around, it still needs to be there, but I'm going to hit it. I'm going to scale it up so that it fits frame. I'm going to look at it and see if I like it. Okay. That's fine. And I'm going to go to the race car. I have to increase the scale of that so that it, I forgot to click on it. So I'm going to look at my scale. Okay. And there's not a lot I can do with the race car. The race car kind of comes in here because so what happens when I go into my position. I really want to keep it where it's at that way, and I can move it up a little bit. So that's what I've got that one now. Okay, now I have my golfer. Now my golfer is a little different because in the golf, at the very end of this clip, the ball is here. And I want that ball to be in the center. So I need to make sure it's in the center. So I'm clicking on the golf sequence and I am increasing it. So it's right there. And I think I want to change the position a little bit so that it's right in the center when we see it at the very end. And now I want to see what I like. I want it exactly like that. Yeah. And then I have the volleyball. This is like not a very interesting clip. So I'm going to just try and get bigger and focus on the ball here. And then I'm going to position it so that we see as much people as we can, so it's a little more interesting. And then the last one, again, I want it to end with the soccer ball in the middle. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to scale it so that it fills the frame. I'm not going to be able to I want to kind of click this so that the soccer ball is in the middle. And I can bring it down just a little bit, but that's about all I can do with that one. So that's what I've got right now. Okay. And I want to just tell you, in case you're wondering, if you look on the timeline, there is a black spot, a black space before and after on the video timeline. And so that means we're going to hear it before we see it, and then we're going to hear it a little bit at the end. And so that's actually what we want. So I have now I've now adjusted all of these so that I see them full frame. So let's see what that looks like. So that's the way that looks like. Now I'm going to do a little bit of correction. And so I'm going to tell you that there's three of them that aren't great. One is the surfer, the green surfer. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click above here on the ruler so that I see that. And this is pretty greenish, honestly. And so I don't really like the way that looks. And so I'm going to go into color correction. And to do that, I'm going to go into my top window and I'm going to go into my color editing. And here in my right-hand window, it now says Lumetri color. And I am going to go down here to the white balance, and I'm going to balance everything in this according to the white that's here. Okay, so I'm going to kind of normalize everything to the white. So instead of being in fit, I want to get a little closer in. So I'm going to get into 100%. So that white right there is what I'm going to dip this to. So look how green and murky this is. I'm going to go into my white balance eyedropper. I'm going to come over here and look what happens when I click on this. Did you see that it got a lot bluer? So it said this is this should be white, so that if this was actually balanced to white, then this would get a little bluer. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And so now I'm going to do that with the magenta BMX, which is a little red. Okay, so you know what? Let's go back to fit so you can see what it looks like. That's what it looks like. It's a little red. The hand's a little red. And there isn't a lot of white here. There's just a little white here on the side of the bike. So that's what I've got to eyedropper it to. So I'm going to change the fit to 100 so that I've got it right there. So you can see that right now this is almost a shadow, but if this was really white, that's what we're going to eyedrop it for. So we're going to take the white balance eyedropper, look into here, making sure that the clip is highlighted. And you see it just got a lot more natural wood look there. Okay, I'm going to move that back to fit. And now I'm going to go to the volleyball, which is the blue volleyball down here. Okay, and this is very bluish right now. And I'm going to go down to, the only white in here are these lines. So I'm going to look for those lines. Yay, I got it. And I'm going to take my white balance eyedropper and I'm going to be really careful that I'm clicking on the white. And balance. Okay. And now I'm going to fit it. It's a little less blue, kind of not as dramatic of a change, but that's what I did. Okay, so I used that white thing. Now I'm also going to head to this soccer, and I'm going to do a little report color correction there. And I'm gonna click on the soccer. And then, this only works if I highlight the clip. So I've highlighted the clip here. And this looks pretty dreary here. So I'm gonna do a couple things here. I'm gonna come over to the Lumetri color here. And I am going to put the temperature up a little bit. And I am going to put contrast up a little bit, not a lot. See, if you put the contrast up a lot, it's not great, but I'm going to put it up a little bit. And I'm going to put the shadows down a little bit. So I'm going to, I'm going to do the contrast up a little bit. So I'm doing shadow down a little bit. Contrast up. I'm going to put the temperature up a little bit. So I can fiddle with some of these, probably in very small increments in order for that to happen, okay, to improve it. So now I am control saving, and I am going into File, Export. Actually, you know what? I need to make sure that I'm in. For you to export, you have to be clicked in the timeline, has to have the blue box around it. I'm going to go to File, Export, Media. And I'm going to get this window. It's always H.264, right? That's important. And then I need to change my location. My location is often wrong. So I am doing, my location is the last thing that I did. So I'm going to put it into here. And I'm going to change my file name using the convention that we're using in class. So I am going to click on this. And so it's going to be in here. And I'm just making sure that I'm doing all of this. And then I am pressing export. And it's going to be exporting what's in my timeline. And then I can find that. It is actually my passport and Insta Sports, and it's right here. It is Wilkerson K Insta. I have exported it as an MP4, and that is what I'm going to submit. It's always a good idea to look at it before you submit. And that's the end.